All right, so it does not get any realer than this. So this is my 15-minute no makeup tutorial. And yeah, it's real because I was actually getting ready to head out the door. I had a doctor's appointment this morning and I had literally 15 minutes to slap on some makeup. So I want to show you guys what I've been doing. So first we're going to conceal the lids. Now this part is going to be probably the part that takes you the most time and precision, and that's just if you want it to be. So I have my brows laminated, which is a big help already. But in order to create a really nice sharp look, what I've been loving to do is just going over my brow hairs with a little bit of colored brow gel, tinted brow gel. This one is from Benefit. It is their Gimme Brow in shade 5. And then I take a full coverage concealer and I'm going to just go ahead and line up the base of my brow with it, like how you guys see me normally do in makeup tutorials. But the brow tint and the gel that I'm using is all I'm going to be using to just kind of darken my brows a little bit, since the laminated look gives it a nice bushy natural effect. But I still want that very crisp underline on my brow base, because I just feel like that makes it look like I did take some type of effort to do my makeup. And I love the way it looks. I like that it's just going to frame my eye. And at the same time, this concealer is just going to help conceal any discoloration that we naturally can have on our eyelids, which for me, my eyes look a little red when I don't have any concealer on. So this just kind of helps neutralize that color and give my lids more of a even tone and base. And I'm just using a flat concealer brush to do so and patting this down. This is the Milani Conceal and Perfect Concealer, by the way. So it's super matte, lasts all day, very strong hold. And I'm just going to go ahead and repeat this step on the other side. And then once we're done priming the lid, I'm not going to set it just yet. We're going to go ahead and just conceal a little bit underneath the eyes. Now, this time I'm using a MAC 24-hour concealer. I'll list the shade down below. And I'm just really focusing this on the inner corners of my under eye. I don't really care to like extend it all the way out, like how I highlight my whole under eye area when I'm doing a full face. And just take a little bit around my nostrils and the corners of my mouth, because on my nostrils I tend to get red. And then on the corner of my mouth, I have a little bit of like an indent. And as you guys know, no Botox, no fillers during this pregnancy. So I definitely have to use makeup to help manipulate these features that I don't really care for a little bit more. So taking a very small micro beauty blender, I'm going to be just dabbing out the concealer that's underneath my eyes and really just focusing it on that inner corner. As you guys can see, my under eyelid is like super red. That's just like a natural thing for me. But that's also what gives my eyes a little bit more of like a sleepy look, not so fresh, wide, and awake. Whereas if I conceal underneath, I have a little bit more of a fresher, like bright-eyed look. And I'm going ahead and just making sure I blend out around my nostrils as well. And I do like to go over my nose with what's ever left on my beauty blender and on the center of my forehead, because I have redness and larger pores in those areas. So just whatever is left on that sponge is what I use to kind of help conceal those a tad bit. And going ahead and just blending out the corners of my mouth as well. And then once I have everything nice and blended, I'm gonna go ahead and just set everything. This is basically the only makeup as far as like liquid foundation or concealer that you'll be using. I have gotten a lot of freckles now during this pregnancy. I've always had freckles, but they've kind of diminished over the years. But with this pregnancy and the hormones, they definitely have come out a lot more. You can see them especially like on the high points of my cheekbones. And I just let them go, like I let them shine through because I actually really like them. So I'm kind of happy about that. So I try not to cover that too much. Now, also with this pregnancy, I've gotten a lot of hormonal breakouts around my chin and jaw area. They've actually started to subside a little bit now that we're almost halfway through this pregnancy. But it did leave a little bit of scarring. So I just go ahead and take a dab of foundation onto that beauty blender, beauty sponge, and I go ahead and just tap over those just to help conceal the discoloration. And then I'm going to be taking a little bit of my Laura Mercier setting powder with that same sponge that we used to blend everything out. And I'm going to be going and setting my under eye area and just dabbing it away. We're not going to be baking or anything like that because there's really no need to. But I definitely just want to make sure that my under eye concealer is not going to budge throughout the day. And as you can see, I feel like just with this concealer and just tiny bit of foundation to spot cover, everything looks so much more one color. My skin looks a little bit more perfected. And then I am just taking a little bit of pressed powder and going over that chin and nose area where we went over with leftover concealer and foundation. Also the center of my forehead. I am an oilier skin girl. That hasn't really changed much in this pregnancy, so I do get oily on my T-zone, so just going over with some powder on my T-zone. And now here I'm setting my eyelids. As you can see, they kind of crease a little bit when you don't set right away, but that's okay. I'm just using this round brush that has really dense bristles to just buff that out. And we're just going to use that to just make sure that the concealer we use to prime our eyelids doesn't go anywhere. And yeah, just a nice light powder, because I still like a little bit of shine to my skin when I'm doing a no makeup look. But definitely I don't want to look like Slick Rick, super oily, you know what I mean? So a little bit of powder just kind of helps control that. Now here's my favorite part, which is bronzing. The bronzer really will just kind of transform the whole look and make it just look so much more lively. I just go ahead and use a little bit of the, oh my God, what's it called? Physicians Formula bronzer. The one that smells like coconut, so good, so yummy. And that one has a little bit of like a shine to it. So when I apply it on my forehead, it's not only bronzing, but it's kind of giving my skin a little bit of a glow. And I'm using just a big fluffy brush to apply this. I'm going to take some across my jaw and chin area, and of course on my cheeks. And as you can see, now I don't look so pale. I look like I have a little bit more life and sun in my skin tone. And it doesn't cover up the freckles that I had mentioned. It's just gonna bring a little bit of like a sun-kissed glow to the look, which I really am digging, especially with like no foundation on. I just feel like it looks so natural, and it's just really complimentary to like everything else going on the face. And then for contour, I am still contouring my nose because that is also something that just makes me feel a little bit more snatched than normal. And so why not? Although I will say in this era of mask, it's kind of sometimes not worth it. So sometimes I'll just go ahead and not do it. But and I'll just take some bronzer along the side of my nose. But in this case, I'm just going to go for it. I also like to deepen the inner corner of like my eye socket there. I just feel like it gives, again, more dimension to my face. It just kind of makes everything not look so flat. And I just drag whatever's left of it across my eyelid, again, just to help with the contour. Not necessarily an eyeshadow look, it's just to help with bringing out those natural curves and shadows in my face shape. And then I am going to take a little bit of highlighter to just help accentuate that nose contour. Now for blush, I'm going to be taking just a matte pink blush, and I'm just using an angle brush from Luxie Beauty. And I've been kind of messing around with my blush placement these past few days because I really like that more of like a high point, almost like replacing your highlighter with blush, since I haven't really been using highlighter on my cheekbones in a while. So I kind of just been using blush on this higher point of my face. I actually am very bothered by this video clip because I feel like I brought out my concealer a little too far out than I would like to, and that's messing with the way that the blush kind of covered across my cheekbone. So it looks a little patchy, and I was like actually considering like refilming this whole thing because of that. But I was just like, you know what? This is real life. I don't have the time to like be doing all that just for a perfect shot. It is what it is. Sometimes we have really good makeup days, sometimes we don't, and you know what? That's okay, because it doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to be good enough. And honestly, you can't really, like, I don't know, you can't really even tell in person or in photos. It was just like in this shot because of the lighting and everything. So I was like, meh, whatever. We're sticking with it. I'm then just going to put some mascara on my eyelashes. I did get my eyelashes curled and permed or lifted. I got a lash lift. And oh my God, life-changing. Honestly, I haven't gone to it my extensions again just because I haven't had a chance to go, and with everything going on, I just like one less thing that, you know, I need to have as part of my beauty routine. Really the only thing I go get done right now are my nails, and well, my best friend does my hair, so that's a little bit easier to manage. But yeah, so I did do a lash lift. My best friend actually did it on me, and I love it. So if you guys are here in the area, McAllen, check her out. It's the Beauty Room Texas. She's the one who does my hair as well. She's now offering lash lifts and facials. And so yeah, it really helps. I just need mascara these days. Next, I'm just going to line my lips with some lip liner. And I am using the Kim K Nude. I think it's the shade number 2. And I was in such a rush. I didn't even like care what lipstick I chose. But obviously, I think I would have rather chose a lighter color. This one was cute too. I just grabbed like whatever. It's just like a Morphe liquid lipstick. It's a little bit on the darker side, but like I said, I was not going to be like super picky about this. I think a little bit of a lighter color would have given this like a more youthful, fresh look, especially if it was more of like a tinted gloss or like a tinted stain. But I just reached for whatever matte liquid lipstick I had because I needed a liquid lipstick. And that's basically it. So here you go. That was exactly 16 minutes. So I would say we did the job, and here is the finished look. You can definitely still see my skin through underneath, but I definitely feel just more polished, put together. And actually, I feel like my skin can really breathe in this type of makeup, which I really like, especially because it's so freaking hot these days where I'm at. And yeah, so I hope this is helpful to some of you. Let me know what you think down below, and follow me on my socials. I will see you guys on my next video.